Hello and welcome back to Age of Wonders 4. We are carrying on with our little lava giants today, our big lava giants and our big ogres, as we try to get out of this terrible situation we're in, where we are just surrounded by enemies on all sides. When we last left our beautiful town of Ashenheim, we had managed to clear out one of the dragon nests that has been bothering us, and we even managed to finish off a little quest down here. Right now, we've got to deal with this dragon's nest. And then we have... Ooh, look, this guy is right up against lava. You know what? I was going to vassalize this guy, but realizing he's against the lava, we should burn this city down as well. And then we can claim those caves for ourselves. We've been trying to push off people who keep forward settling on our little section of continent. And I think that's what today is going to be all about. We are back at war with Otto the Discarded. So we're probably going to have some people popping up from refuge. And we are still at war with Belsarius, and we certainly will stay at it until we blow this up. Where are our armies? They're all down here. So I think the plan right now is we're going to move back. We're going to try to get rid of these dragons, burn down this city, and see where we go. We ended on an intern. Let's begin on an intern. See how today takes it. How did we manage to get this? It's been a bit of a chaotic run. We ended up with like a really good map, but it is a map where everybody hates each other and combat is pretty much guaranteed. So we're just fighting non-stop right now, trying to keep our ground. And it has been a struggle. Where is our giant? Here. Oh, Slam Pit is under siege. That's right. But only by a single character, who we can trigger a battle with right now. Absolutely no reason to lose anybody in this fight. I don't know where that cannon came from. What's your range? Pretty big. If I stand here, I am out of range. Let's just chuck a fireball. Stay out of range of this dweeb. We have berserkers and stuff here now as well. Let's bring all of these guys up. Let them have a heal. I could actually move this zombie up. You know what? I'll move the zombie up since he's sacrificial. We're going to give... we're exhausted. We can't heal. There's another mage lock cannon here. How did this guy get 2 mage lock cannons in this fight when he clearly did not have any? Is it a siege project? I guess it must be. All right, let's see what they do. We get hit with a pitting barrage. Cannons move in, they second winds. All right, that's all fine with me. You guys are pinned. You guys are not. You get anybody on a cannon, and it's no longer able to do anything. But you got to get somebody on the cannon. Technically, as long as nobody moves past this line, I'm fine. Charging this guy would be best, but he has a pole arm, so I'm not actually going to be able to get the charge in. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Let's throw a jab at you. Let's throw a jab at you. I'll let you heal. which I am forgetting will not actually really do much. You'll kill him. Didn't realize that. Keep forgetting we can't properly heal here. That's not going to heal us either. I really don't want to take that cannon. I'll tell you what, we're going to move like right here so we can shield wall.
To review my Prime sub and say that I love you all. Time to go back to YouTube where I belong.
Wafu, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Enjoy heading back to the YouTube. Is that a mage cannon in my pocket, or are you just happy to siege me? That's very good. 10 out of 10. We're getting some really good puns this morning. Much appreciate the primer. Much appreciate the YouTubing. Tucked him into the pockets. Am I gonna do anything here? I don't think I can. Let's just take some hits. Oh god, the berserks. I forgot about the berserks. All right, good news. That cannon is now ready to be pestered. And pestered it shall be. Oh, what a crit. Glory, glory, what a crit. Get you guys in here. Get these Zerkies in here. Get these skirmies over here. This cannon can't do nothing. Out. Wipe them out. Awesome. So no reason to lose anybody in this fight. Skeleton warriors. Hearth can actually make really good skeleton warriors with defensive tactics and tough. I'd buy that for $1. We got some padded mail, 3 defense, 5 HP. Not quite as good as that, but it would probably be good on you. I think that crit's probably better for you right now. Okie dokie. You can go back in here. Standing on the center of the city, restore HP and lose exhausted. So I could move him there. I could trigger the ritual of alacrity, and then I could move him back. And you know what? I think for 60 mana, I'll do that. Let's get him boosted. Gives him a nice heal as well on this army. You're going to vibe there. You're going to go on auto explore. So these guys are going to make their way up to the Dragon Slayer. As are those guys. We got a couple new buildings. I feel like our economy is starting to come back around here. A Wizard's Tower is probably not a bad choice at this point. I got access to a couple of new heroes. We're going to get vassalage there. There's no question about that. Brilliantium is attacking us, but they're going to get, well, not any day soon, but I don't think they can just like walk across the slam pit here, so I'm not really worried about them. I don't have a ton of mana, so I don't necessarily want to summon more of these guys, but you know what? I could at least queue one up so that we can cast it when needed. Oh! There goes that skeleton. I guess I'm heading back down here. We got 2 heroes. We got 1,400 strength. That scout's getting busted. Love that skull helm. Yeah, it's a very nice look. 700 here. Okay. What's going on up there? Tales, if you're dealing with Shadow Affinity, travel far. A company of stalwart paladins proclaim that they will overthrow you. Shadow Crisis. They are welcome in my domain of darkness. Welcome to die. Yeah, I mean, no problem. What is happening? You're being sieged by a dragon. No. By this marauding army? No, by the fire dragon. That would be really nice. I'd be A-okay with that. If that fire dragon burned down Fargosk for me, that would actually save me a lot of trouble. So, Helter of Clan Skeletor, you can come down here. You guys are going to have to come back. You guys are going to have to come back. I mean, I got 2 turns. I don't know that I need to boost it. I'm healing right here. Those guys are en route. I feel okay with this right now. Boosted tower level 1. This would give +1 starting rank to all those elementals. 2 people in the crypt, 1 person in the prison. This would give us an extra little bit of mana. That'll give us a lot more mana, though. My draft here is still... Recent events for 1 more turn is locked. Two quarries. A ritual pyre. All those foresters are burned down. Really like this Shrine of the War God is quite excellent. Nothing boosts it. And getting the extra damage on those berserkers that we build will be worthwhile. I don't have enough to hire the new hero. You've gotten your tier 3 city. I would not mind stone walls here because it would buy me like an extra turn of defense. There's a couple of good buildings we could grab in here. Like, it's pretty much guaranteed the rat's going to come out of here and attack Sunstone. So let's go with the stone walls. We know we're under siege constantly. This stuff is being ruined. There's not much I can do about that right now. Let's keep rolling. My God. Finally, time to deal with those pesky dragons. I mean, not yet, but soon. Oh, interesting. The rat popped out of here. My poor scouts can't get anywhere. Pachyderm poison works on dragons and demons too. Pesky pachyderms trampling the daisies. Use pachyderm poison. 1 feed and wipes them out. And poor pachyderms. They having a tough time. Sunstone is ready to keep annexing. Sunstone loves conduits. I really got to take these places here with the Cathedral of Testament. But I think I want Ashenheim to take them. I don't know, man. Maybe I could just give those all to Sunstone. But right now, I'm going to build a conduit here. At least connect my land together. Aegis is sent to war party. Capture the city of Lithium. I don't really have the money to be doing bounties right now. Now, if you have 1 more turn, does that mean you have 1 more turn or you have no more turns? think that means you have no more turns. So we're going to force march. I got one more turn on that ritual of alacrity. These guys are all 32, so if I go here or here, they're fine. 32s and 40s. That should still be fine. Seven, 8. Yeah, we're in an okay spot here. I gotta move out of these like tier 1 units. I feel like we're getting real caught up in a lot of trash tier stuff right now. Finally, we're making berserkers again. They still cost me 6 turns to build, which is sort of hellish, but Fargosk is being sieged. You know what? I'm gonna summon another elemental here. $17 versus 16. What is the siege? What do they have? Construct siege guns. At the start of the battle, gain 2 mage lock cannons. Headlong assault. Units besieging the city take 20 physical damage. All walls are damaged at the start of combat. Wall obstacles have a chance of being destroyed at the start of combat. I only have walls. 75 gold per tier of the besieged city. Here's the thing. If I sally forth, I don't lose my walls. So maybe I should just bring these guys down as well. Then it's a low-risk battle. I have a lot less to lose here. Good deal, including a bait basket. Poison being powerful. That's sold on market shelves. Yes. From the manga. Yeah. For elephants and dragons, probably half the box, but it's yummy and they gobble it up. Demons just need a sprinkle and it's back to hell they go. Urania Sprocket. Falkita Bone Steel. I actually have a question here. If I'm going to kill all these heroes, should I pick up knowledge extraction? I think the obvious answer to that would be yes. Advanced logistics. Roads cost 3 points instead of 5. But don't we have a special thing where our roads already cost less? All units gain road walk. Moving over roads costs 4 instead of 5. So we don't have advanced logistics, but we have a version of it. Let's absolutely take knowledge per hero. Right. This is the other one I want to pick up is Tireless Marchers. Because it'll be really helpful for us. And let's just 1-2 buckle my shoe here. Definitely not my Bone Horror and my Necromancer. My walls! I hate that they get these extra mage locks. I feel like that's like probably one of the best siege projects there is. You can only shoot to here. Right? Yeah. All right, it's going to have to be something weird like that. You got a Zabby. Probably take point with you then. You got a Zerker and a Bone Horror over here. You know what? Let's send the Zerker this way. I think you're going to have to go front row center. Start chucking some javelins. Let's go for those guys. Just so we stack a little burning on them. Guard, 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 guard. You got a fireball, so who do we want to go with? I feel like that gorilla might be the worst, but at the same time, you're a pain. Oof. Making that good Roblox noise. Some skelly bone archers in this way. You've got 2 necros. You've got the spider monarch. Wizard bronze golem. Lots of fighters on this side and a mage lock here. You have Mending Touch, Fey Blessing, Graceful Rain, and Distribute Tonic. This guy has so many heals. 1 Hex Radius, Clinging Mist, Mending Touch, and the Tonic. 3 of these are also like no cost to use. Exhausted. Right. Okay, so if all of those guys are exhausted, I'm going to just say you probably want to come over here where you can actually do things. I have a lot of guys to hold off on this end. I see now why this bone horror died. And TBH, it feels like he probably will not live. Even with this Necro squad backing him up. Oh, you're undead as well. I can buff you. Let's summon a spider, because I'll be able to do a cascade next turn. And then, yeah, sure. We'll put you right there for now. Give you a little block. Out. Couple warriors and stuff getting hits. The zombies getting hits. I would say overall not too bad. Let's web the group of these guys. That also, most importantly of all, locks down that mage lock. I reckon you ain't gonna have much choice here. I think you're gonna have to go on this guy and try locking him down. You've got a cascade. The only problem is if I cascade these guys, it'll unfreeze him and him. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. Not yet, at least. 90% chance of frozen being removed, because everything you do does fire damage. Inconvenient. But not you. Got a stack of decay on him. That's great. Let's try to get the stack of decay on him as well. Resist, but all right. Y'all got some good shots over here. Let's start with Yonder Lock. Yonder Lock of Mages. It looks like we can probably just wipe out pretty easy peasy here. I think let's chuck a javelin at him. Make sure he's got the sundered defenses on. And then you've got sundered as well already. You don't. You actually were force marched. Let's stack burning on you. I can bring over this nice little healy guy. Give him a heal. Then I can give him another heal. And then you know what I can do? I can also heal again. And give our guys grace. That berserker's going to get moved over. You're immobilized. This guy's got a bunch of heals. Boop, bop, boop, bop, boo. You know what? Take that. It's big damage. Now. Nice. We get lucky with the crit there. This is a zombie, so he can just attack. You can actually raise that gorilla. Raise it to be one of your own. Your new child. And you know what? Let's go on top of him. These decaying zombies. They just want to be in the way. They look great. Ogre zombies look very good. Got some extra spears. Got some extra warriors. These guys just don't have great shots on anybody. And I feel like if I bring these warriors out, they're going to get wailed on. Let's just put them there. You can just shield wall. Does anybody feel like dying from a necrotize? This would be the group that I would want to cast this on. Oh, this guy is really debuffed. Boom, boom. I'm just going to trigger it on him for now. A lot of berserks happening. Looks like pretty positive, though, because it just brought their mage into point blank range. Ooh. Wow, what was that? Lightning? Wand to lightning strike? Yeah. That zombie got buckled. Oh, Jack, hello. Good morning. How did the gorilla turn into a bunch of ogre zombies? What sort of cursed necromancy is that? I mean, I was wondering, but I was also thinking maybe I shouldn't ask. Miss, miss, miss. That's XCOM, baby. You can't quite get into range. You guys get to all move over. You get to move over. It's all ogre now. Critical strike on them. That's beautiful. Let's just hit him with a spirit blast. I'm going to archer him. This allows these zombies to eat his corpse and then come up here. You guys can move up and eat a corpse. These guys can move up. Shield wall, shield wall. This guy is infected, so I really want to try and kill him. Here's a quadra burning, cascading fire. Oh, this guy's not having a great time right now. He popped out a decaying zombie, but it's not working so good for him. I could just get a necrotized kill here. I was kind of hoping to use that corpse for something else, but I guess let's go for the hero who's got slip away of some kind. Kill him. I need that zombie. I was hoping that zombie was going to be able to get on that mage lock, which I can see now it's not. Oof. That's not a good meatball. Yes! Crits! I love this guy's critical hit strike. What has he got? 85% crit chance. Because he's got triple stack of fortune right now. Oh my god, the crits are saving me. Blessed be our Jesus. You know what? This guy can heal. I am going to lose the bone horror. There's no dude boot. Yeah. But I should be able to get a bone horror from this fight. That was a zombie. And then these are all support heroes. That was a zombie. Okay. That ain't no problem. I can do a double smack here. Let's absolutely run that back. Killer. I think I also did damage to him somehow. 5%, 50%. I mean, sure. Swing and a miss. All right. They're dead. So just that hero is alive. I'm going to have these necros try to go stacks of decaying. All these dudes are moving up. I love this berserker who came all the way down. He started up here. He came all the way down here, and now he's trying to loop back to get to these heroes. I don't think there's anything left to be done here, really, but we'll move everybody. I could just auto this at this point. You know what? Why not? See what they come up with. An excessive amount of shield walls. Get him. Oh! Dude, I would not have even thought about doing that, which is so funny because it's such an obvious choice. But now I don't lose that bone horror. The necromancer just brought the bone horror back to life. These guys are just eating all of the corpses around. They can't even heal. They're just consuming corpses for fun. That guy berserked. Donk. Full kill. Combat's hard for you, but maybe you make a weird faction. I mean, I think that the combat is... It takes a lot to sort of get sorted out at first. It can be a bit overwhelming, so... Started this game recently, but it feels like I really blow at the combat. I think that's totally fair. I think that's totally fair. Have any questions, feel free to ask. The community is always willing to help out. Where do babies come from? The stork, obviously. I thought we all knew that. Drowned Recreants, Iron Hands, Hearthkin. Hearthkin warriors are good. Iron Hands. Keen-sighted and sneaky. Oh, so Iron Hand Rangers and Mages are also good. Here's an army for us. Staff of the Lightning Strike. And a Frosty Sphere of the Steppe. +1 range, but it's only tier 2. Excellent. Excellent, 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 excellent. Oh, they got hit with the ads. I'll answer the question. I'll answer the question after the ad then. I mean, the granary is the only thing boosted here, so let's go with that. So, I definitely need to divvy up some of these teams. I kind of feel like the Blessed Dragon should go in with this guy. Maybe get rid of some of these Sunderers. This guy I want to be, like... This guy gets the Necromancer army. There's no question about that. I'll give him Wildfire Strikes for now. We're unlocking Soul Binders, so our mages have a chance of inflicting Soulbound, giving us extra souls. And we get our next tier 2 book, which is gonna be the Tome of Shades. Basic melee attacks ignore defense and resistance on targets that are blind. We get 10% evasion for all of our units. And whenever we're attacked, it's a 60% chance of inflicting blinds. We get Shades, who are tier 3 skirmishers, which will be nice. It also gives us a little bit of Materium. I think it's the right choice.
Assassin knows that swift execution yields the cleanest results. Factor in that most beings, including your target, are blind in the dark, and your course of action is obvious. Exploit that vulnerability and maximize your efficiency. Move through the shadows, cloak yourself in darkness, and ensure your target never sees when or where the fatal blow will fall.
Fitting. So the way I figure is we have skirmishers. We have those like basic tier 1 skirmishers. And this will give us now tier 3 to go with our berserkers. Again, the idea is about us being very aggressive. Back from the ad. Okay, I'll answer your question. Give me 1 second to make sure that my brain is in the right spot here. We have a magma spirit ready. We actually have more troops than we need right now, which is great. Because we definitely need a lot of troops. I can't move those guys off. Yeah, we'll just leave the rest right there. For right now. Make our way back to Ashenheim. Deal with this Dragon's Lair. See whether or not we got to deal with Fargosk. The great thing about this is going to be like a wounded city, even if we do come back. Well, at the end turn. Okay, so you started the game recently. It's fun, but you're really struggling with the combat. Where do you start? The thing I always tell people right away is click on the enemy team. Figure out where they are moving in combat. Figure out where the edges of their combat sort of hexagons are. And try to make sure that when you're moving your team, it is always just out of reach in the first couple of turns of where they are. You want to make sure that there's a bit of a distance between the two of you. Ooh, Queen of the Marsh Morena, literally our character we just had going in the last one, but she's gone very geomantic this time, giving herself little crystal frogs. That's not what you're meant to do. They're meant to be different. Good to see her on the map though. So you want to try to move your units just sort of outside of their range, and then ensure that you get the first strike in combat. So if you move just outside their range, they're going to move just sort of inside of your range, and then you get to close the gap. This is especially important if you're using charge units, shock units, because these guys are all about like getting that 3 hexes damage treble. Like you need this to try and get the opening strikes. You don't generally want these guys on the front line. You want them in on the flanks. You want them ideally going for the back lines and making sure that they can sort of stay on top of units that struggle if they are if somebody is in their zone of control. And then your front line should be generally mixed up of like warriors and polearms, shield units and polearms. Trying to do that and trying to sort of encapsulate, surround as much as you can, but then using groups like berserkers, using group like skirmishers as well against people like, I'm actually not sure I have an example unit I can show you here for this. Their evolution form would work. Let's take, trying to find a unit that will really give me a good example of this. Chaos Eater? No. These guys. No. Maybe? No. Wow, I cannot believe I can't find a single unit that is actually going to be able to prove my example here. Here we go. Restart the cycle. So a lot of units, normally a lot more units, I'm shocked it took me this long to find it, but a lot of units will have these 3 AP abilities that are very strong. If you can line yourself up so that you can cast these as often as possible, it's always going to turn the tide in your favor. But the big thing is these 3 cost abilities, they normally are ranged, they cost 3, and they say cannot be used within an enemy zone of control. It's really important to keep skirmishers and charge units on top of these units. Even if you don't do a lot of damage in the attack, like if you move a skirmisher, normally you might be better off throwing your ranged weapon, but going in and doing a single melee attack, but guaranteeing that they can't use this at the beginning of their turn is a huge game changer in combat. It's one of the things I always try to prioritize, saying who has these triple move abilities and how can I shut them down. A great example is the mage lock cannons in that last siege. All of those can only shoot if nothing is next to them. If anybody is next to them, they can't do anything else on that turn. So by literally just putting a unit next to them, you can attack another unit that's nearby, but putting a unit in their zone of control will stop them from being able to even use their turn. Any support units also typically suffer from this. They can't really do most of their abilities in zone of control, even though they're only like 1 cost. So if they want to do something, they have to move, take an attack of opportunity, and then cast. And sometimes they'll just decide, I don't want to take the attack of opportunity. I will literally just pass my turn. I don't even think, yeah, like they can't even use their attack ability if they're in zone of control. So if you have them pinned with certain characters around them, they might not be able to escape. Because if you're in a pinned position, i.e. if you're in zone of control of somebody else, and the only spot you can move puts you in another zone of control, you can't then move a 3rd spot. Unless you have something like Slippery. Or Swift. Do I always high tier units, or you do 1 and 2 units work as well? 1 and 2 tier units can work, especially early on. I mean, they're your only choice early on, but you got to try to keep them alive. So as they level up, Elite and Legend will basically make, if you have a tier 1 unit and it hits Elite, it's effectively a tier 2 unit. If it hits Legend, it's effectively a tier 3 unit. Now, it's a tier 3 unit at Recruit, at the basic level, but it will have the stats of a tier 3 unit. So that really, really helps out. That makes a huge difference. Leveling up your guys, making sure that they try to survive. Typically, support units will only ever be level 2. So, but it's generally like a good idea to keep tier 2 units in your army. Like it's generally a good idea to keep support units in your army. The key is that like certain tomes will give support units really good abilities. So depending on your build, you might have support units that can do things like cast Mark of Death. So even though it's a tier 2 unit, it has the ability to instant kill another unit. You know, the ability to raise undead on necromancers is huge. Most of the tier 2 units, all the support guys, have really good abilities, but they mostly unlock them through tomes. If you don't get a lot of tome abilities that boost your support units, replace them with something else that just does damage. It depends on your team comp. How does this game compare to the new Civ? I like very different. This is much more about tactical combat. It's about trying to make sort of the right choices. It's much more fantasy. The new Civ is more about like optimizing your city build and placement of things, which this game still has. I mean, you have things like the ritual pyre that gets you bonuses per adjacent foresters, for example. And all of that is important, but not quite as much as it is in something like Civ, so. Strong, you have to build around it rather than just slot into any build. Yeah, I mean, that's also the thing is, like, as you play the game and you learn what the different things are, you're going to want to say, oh, my faction gets a buff to this. You know, I'm playing Berserkers. Berserkers have a special ability called Savage Strike. Where is literally any of my actual racial units? Berserkers get a special ability called Savage Strike. So whenever they get a critical hit, they do extra blight damage. Ergo, I probably want to spec towards critical hit because this will give me a bunch more damage. So if I can do things like take chaos dedications to get 10% critical hit chance every time I get one of these on my entire army, that ends up being very, very worthwhile. You got to kind of look into like what it is that you're getting and how everything builds together because of that. Or it helps to do that, I should say. For example, my tier 3 unit as barbarians is a berserker. The berserkers are really good, but unlike most other tier 3 units that all other cultures get, it doesn't get a horse. It's like one of the only tier 3 units that doesn't get a horse. So what did I do? Well, I took athletic on my guys. So instead of having a 32 movement berserker, I now get a berserker that has the speed of a horse. So he no longer is sort of suffering the penalties that you would normally get from a character like this. I also took inner fire on him because I figured, well, if he's going to be diving into the back line with 40 movement, he's probably going to get hit a lot. So being able to do retaliation damage is sort of worthwhile. Units evolve with combat experience. Best way to get it is mostly from farming camps on the map. So groups like this that you see around, you should always be looking to clear out any of these sort of marauder armies that are guarding locations. Because not only, like, if you kill them, you'll get access to a resource node, giving you bonuses to your province here, but also you'll get resources from that fight. So, for example, this guy's on a gold vein. If you clear these guys out, you'll also get like 100 and something gold just from clearing out this army. Effectively, all resource nodes are mini treasure chests, and you'll get stuff from them. And then, yeah, certain units evolve. Certain units, when they hit legend status, will actually evolve. So not only do they get like more stats as they go up, but when they hit legendary, they'll become a tier 3 unit. So all the elementals, except for wind, work like this. And a lot of the animals work like this. If you're playing feudal culture, they have a similar system. But so then this can become tier 3. He'll go back down to recruit, and then he can level up again all the way to legend. So you have a tier 1 unit that can, if it goes through 10 levels, will effectively be a tier 5 unit once it gets all the way up to legend. So very powerful if you can keep them alive. You're angering me because I made up a reason to hate you. I should probably pay that off. I don't know if I'm going to, though. How's Fargosk doing? Looks like they killed the red dragon here. Yeah. But they did lose all their fortifications. So then let's go this way. This way. This way. This way. You can't really move, so you'll just hang out there. I have enough to get another hero, and you know what? I basically have a third army sticking around right now. So now is probably a good time to recruit. Does nautical count for lava, coast, or water? Lava, no. An agricultural shepherd. Animals, plants, and elementals. I'm only going to have fire elementals, so that's kind of a hard one to do. You're a conqueror, not impossible. You're a ritualist, though. I mean, I did just pick up that lightning staff. You're a trollkin conqueror with spellblade. I mean, I think the thing is that like the governor stat doesn't really matter here so much right now. A spellblade could be good. What actually do we have in items? Padded mail, a Punisher's halberd, a tier 3 poison blast, defensive mode warding with critical hit damage, and lightning strike. Oh, you're a mage, not a ritualist. Okay, I'd take a ritualist then. Well, we could rock that. A ritualist with Conqueror. Summons Devastator Spheres? Yeah, let's do that. The Poison Monger. Gilitru. Let's reset your skills, though. So I'll take that crit chance. I don't know if I'm going to give you Searing Strikes, though. You're a ritualist, so, I mean, Raise Undead, obvious choice. Zombie Keeper, pretty obvious choice. What do I want? Conjure Wild Growth? Probably not. Support abilities get bolstered. Resistance, Regeneration, or Heal. Extra heal and extra range. Resurrect. I mean, that's obviously very nice. Overflowing restoration. Swift restoration. Master of healing. Well, army leader, all units heal 15 HP per world map turn. Undying loyalty and reclaiming attacks. Choo 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 choo. I'm going to give you a Bone Wyvern. Experience Leader, and I guess Restore. I think is what we'll do for you right now. I'll give you the Staff of Lightning Strikes. This Padded Mail. And that's all the rest we kind of have right now. You can march your way down here to join, grab yourself an army. And we will figure out the rest. Okay, this scout's getting beat up. Oh, actually got killed. My scouts aren't really doing much for me right now. Tried to evolve a dragon unit. It didn't really work. If they're low level, like if they're a young dragon, they will evolve. You might also have to have a tier 5 building. I don't think you do anymore. City states. Free city start with +5 pop. Whispering Stones reduced by 50%. Sunstone got its increased walls. That's great. I'll give that the ritual battle site. Get us some more knowledge. Slam Pit is ready to keep annexing. Oh, I should have killed those goblins. Goblins! This guy is starting to hog up territory here, so I'm going to build cinder conduits so he's not stealing all my land. Or I guess stealing all my lava, as it were. Do I have roads here? It feels like I don't have roads. Okay, you guys move up. You guys move up. You guys move up. You're going to grab this army. So he'll get a little undead skeleton in there as well. I should probably give him one of the necromancers if that's the case. We'll figure it out. Whispering Waters is way over here. We've been invaded by a dragon. Oh, and the city of Kelton, who has a whole bunch of dragons. Are you guys like followers of the dragon? You absolutely are. So I'll have to deal with you before we do anything else. He walked across this mountain to get to me, I guess. I don't know. Do you fly? No. Thankfully not. All right, well, we'll deal with him in a second. I'm a little bit short on mana right now, but I think that's okay. Kind of tend to use builds with tier 1 units. Regrettably, computer cannot use it properly, so not good for auto resolve. Yeah. No, the tier 1 units are like tough. The tier 1 units are more about production. Like you can produce a lot of tier 1 units per turn. So when you're doing tier 1 and you're doing horde armies, it's really about, can you overwhelm the computer and chip them down? And once you start getting into late game, it becomes really difficult. If you're going to do that, you need to take Mighty Meek, which is an order spell that causes your units to do like extra damage if things are higher tier than them. So evolved units actually get any buffs over the higher recruited units? Is an evolved magma spirit better than a freshly summoned one at tier 2 at tier 3? No. They're the identical. Ain't no difference. Put you there. Put you there. I think I'm just gonna shift him over for a moment so that they have a bit more of a front line with these guys. That's disgusting. So this is the problem, is this is all like tier 3 dragons and I'm all tier 1 units. Fresh recruited tier 1 units as well, so I'm not doing a lot of damage against these guys, and they have crazy high movement scores. There's really like quite little I can do about it. But we'll see. We'll see what we can come up with here. You guys in here. You guys in here. Spiders, as is tradition. Handful of different undead here. Let's boost those archers. One of you have range? Yeah, Fey Blessing has range. See what they come up with. You're gonna be baited by that summon. This is another thing you can really do is so when you're looking at them and you're saying like, oh, this is their attack range, if all of your guys are 1 back, then often they might only move half. So if you have something like a zombie that automatically summons at the beginning of every battle and is a completely sacrificial unit, you can put them in range to bait units in, to pretty much like guarantee that they'll come in and try to attack them. And that's often, I find, very, very helpful. I'm going to take Slip Away on you, and I'm going to go right behind this guy. Ooh, am I going to do this? Let me think about this. Because the other option is if I go here, I can attack 2 guys at once. But nobody else can reach you. So here's an example. This guy has lightning evocation. If I don't get somebody on him, I am going to get hit with this. It's going to do a bunch of damage to 3 units. It's a powerful spell, but it can't be used in zone of control. So if I can put a guy here, right next to him, he can't cast that spell. He has to move in order to do anything. So I'm looking through my units and I'm saying, who can actually move and reach him? Well, in this situation, only my hero. My hero attacks 2 in a row, so I'd rather put him here so that he can attack both these dragons at the same time. But that's also only 1 tier, so he's not going to get the 3 hexes. Only 1 hex. So he's not going to get the 3 hexes for the maximum damage. Ergo, if I go here, I get a nice big flank attack, which I crit on and almost one-shot him. In fact, I think I did one-shot him. What does this guy have? You have evasion, displacement. Upon sustaining damage from a melee attack, this unit moves 2 hexes, enters defensive mode, and gains evasion. So I didn't almost one-shot him, but now he's in range of my hero, my other hero. That displacement just happened to work out really well for us. Let's put you here. Attack this guy in the flank. Also, attacking in the flank means they can't retaliate, which is always really nice. Move the Sunderers up. That guy's frozen, isn't he? Well, not anymore, I guess. This guy's frozen. Okay, so he's fair game. So using things like my Sunderers guarantees that I do Sunder defense, which means everybody else who hits this guy is going to hit him harder. Here go my Berserkers. Can come in and do massive amounts of damage. Got myself a nice little crit there as well. So we'll just move everybody along. Get that guy a nice shield wall on them. This zombie can attack the frozen guy because he can't really do much. This spider is a prime target for these guys. Technically, if I don't move anybody, it's very likely these dragons will just attack the spider. Now, I could cast Burning Cascade here, but it would stop the frozen on that unit. So I don't think I'm gonna. I do think I'm gonna raise that fire dragon from the undead and make another zombie, though. This guy adds burning, so again, I don't want to attack the frozen unit. What I could do is I could move this warrior up and try to stun this guy. So now 2 of these guys are completely shut down for the next round. For whatever reason, I do way more damage to him than I do to him. Oh, he's obsidian. He's not a he's not a fire dragon, that's why. Sure, you can't really get into range of anybody. I'm gonna sacrifice this skeleton warrior to tie this guy down, because otherwise he's pretty likely to come down here and like just attack one of my mages or some of my support. He's less likely to attack someone else if he has to take an attack of opportunity. And he's more likely to say like, oh, okay, well, I could move here, take an attack of opportunity and get a single hit in, or I could stay here and hit this guy 3 times and almost kill him. We'll just move you here and do a little damage. I think I'll move you here and move out. So you're guarding all of my flanks. And then I can also move you up. This guy hits in an AoE? +4 fire damage and 90% chance to inflict burning on the target and adjacent enemies. Obviously, that would be the best hit. But it's going to unfreeze him if I do that. Big damage, though, but whatever. Miss! Oh, conveniently enough, though, that somehow opened this up and let me charge strike. So I'll take that. Oh, the berserks. So he tail whipped. He did decide to move because he got a triple tail whip here. That's fair. That's a zombie. Again, it's like a summoned unit, so it doesn't matter. We've got lots of units berserking right now and just killing everybody. I don't know what happened. That guy was frozen and then he unfroze. If I go here, I can now kill 2 of these guys in 1 hit. Oh, big bone axe. And then we're just going to chew this guy apart. Crabbed. No problem, see? No need to lose anybody here. Ooh. All these bone horrors, and I don't have enough souls. Advanced skinks. Tenacious, cold-blooded, and poisonous. So that's not... This is like a character who's like pretty good as a skeleton warrior. Because with poisonous, they're going to do poison damage to anybody who hits them. They also get natural regeneration from Draconic Vitality. Now, I don't really have enough mana for this. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because I'm a stubborn old mule. And then you're going to go this way and try to beat up this auto army, which I can absolutely reach. So these guys get dunked. You're going to fill your boots with this guy. So that 4th army is actually fully built once this guy joins in now. So that's good. I have a little extra undead army now. So now I have an army of 3 that I can go around doing things with, and I can have this army of 1 defend Sunstone and Slam Pit. You have so much more movement left. How is that even possible? All right, let's just put you in the city. We're gonna build. What are we gonna build? Per adjacent forester, per adjacent forester, per adjacent conduit. This place scales off of conduits. I mean, I could put it there. That would get rid of that farm. I'm starting to think about things like what gets demoralized would be useful. More souls would be useful, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to put that there. Because I'm also going to get a conduit here. Ashenheim gets to annex more places. I'm coming for this Dragon's Lair, so moving into this territory now actually is good for us. So I'm going to build a forester here. So it scales off that ritual pyre. You are getting more crit-based attacks. You want a province claiming pact? I'll give it to you just so we stay friends. Lots of people are getting angry at each other, which is great. We do have like World of Chaos, so people cannot possibly get along for a long time here. Mana, mana, mana. We are hurting on mana. All right. I need to build an axe for that two-handed character. Or I need to build them some sort of sword of some type. They are a crit-based character, so crit hit chance is really good. And then probably Retaliator. That makes it tier 3, which is too much. The sharpened retort, I'll take that. Gives them just a slightly better weapon. And gets built in like a single turn. Now that we finally have some binding essence, like I need to start crafting stuff on the somewhat regular. Let's take Tireless Marchers. So it only costs 18 mana now to do Tireless March, Force March. Which is super great for us. Not enough souls or mana for him. Yeah. Soulwell is always a good choice. I think so. So many of our spells are going to scale off of souls later on in the game, so having some extra isn't really a bad idea. That sounds like somebody is sieging something. The chieftain of Kevol approaches as a tired air of exasperation about him. I crave a humble boon. Your war with Brilliantium happens to be my bumbling brother-in-law. It's a strange tale. Brilliantium is unlikely to win against a bone lord like yourself. There will be heavy losses. Please end this war. I'll actually take this. Good choice. Ah! Cthulhu has declared war on me. Okay. We're still not running a problem in terms of like unjust wars or anything, though. You've got the Shrine of the War God. I need mana, so why don't we build a mana obelisk? Even though it's not boosted. Where is... You're gonna get this new sword, which also makes you look super badass. So if you have a weapon, you have a weapon, you... This is still only tier 1. I guess we could also probably give him a giant crit blade. Extra 10% crit on him. We'll call this one the Sharp and Stabby. Even though it's more of a sharp and choppy, but... just for the meantime. You called an ally to war. Your call was accepted. Catelyn has sent another war party. Our alignment has somehow changed from evil to good. We're going to have to work on that. I feel like taking one good offer shouldn't have pushed me that much, but... All right, and then we're going to go spank some draggies. I'm going to take that. Because I can do that. I also spawn a bunch of extra units, such as necromancers, for killing them. You have a necromancer already, so maybe I give you that bone horror. Can I give you the necromancer? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to build roads so that I can merge them. That's fine, and we can move on to Dragon Slayer next turn. This guy, in the meantime, you have 700 points. That's a 1,300 point army. So I'm looking now to see, like, is there anything this little army at 700 can just take out? 500 points. Are you flying? Desolate Walk. $1,300, $800, $900. Yeah, the world is getting kind of strong for tier 1 units. But maybe these packs of giants? Yes, that we could do. Oh, Flamek has a bunch of armies down here as well. I think I can start clearing out some of these giants. So let's aim to do that. Blah, 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 blah. Province is being pillaged. Not anymore. An evil prison still lingers. I'm in a position where I can now start repairing all of these ruins, finally. Excellent, 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 excellent. Let's cast Soulbinders, which I think I've had unlocked for quite a while now and been forgetting to cast. Convenient, ended war, one war right before the next comes around. Oh man, we're in like permanent state of war. My scouts keep going out. That actually means Belisarius is out of that area though. He's outside the city right now, which means I could ambush him and kill him and then take the city first. And I might just do that. Might have to. A lot harder to be good as it is to be evil. I mean, evil just generally means you have to do a lot of pillaging. That's the easy way to be evil. If you pillage a lot of provinces, then your evil score will stack up super fast. Can any of you reach him? You sure can if I build a road too. So we've caught him outside the city walls. Fantastic. I'm not going to recruit any of these guys. But I will lay siege to your city. I'm going to do a raiding party. And I kind of think that's it. I'm just going to keep the gold. I don't think I need anything else. We've unlocked Shades. We can cast Soulbinders. I should have cast this before that fight. So now our Necromancers and our Fire Elementals are going to start gathering souls when they kill people in combat. Slampit here has a granary. Slampit's going to run into a problem because none of its stuff is pretty much ever going to get boosted. And that's just life it's going to lead. Mineral extractors are going to be super valuable, though. We've get combat points per unit, death magic, or bonus to knowledge. Sharp and stabby can be equipped. Gives me an extra 3 damage plus that 10% crit chance. You gain a level renown, ranking up units in the hero's army. Also gives more stability to your city. Complimented for a good diplomatic approach. What is that? Burning down cities? Is that my good diplomacy? You go here, you heal more. Yeah, and everybody's still kind of in range. So let's do that and keep cooking. Hardest is actually favorite build neutral. There's not really much space for maneuvering. You do something good and straight, you need to look for something bad to get it back to neutral. Yeah. I mean, all the events, so many events give you like 10 here or 10 here. But yeah, it's really hard to stay neutral. It's good for diplomacy because nobody really gets mad at you if you're neutral. The old Switzerland play. The always rating evil, very happy. Yeah, we have a big mana problem. And it's also just gone up because I cast that Soulbinder spell. Shade Network is nice, but I think let's pick up Living Shadow. Because our guys will look really cool with it. Ooh, how good is that? My ally's in range here, so I can use him to clear out these locations. This guy only has tier 1 units right now. No, I'm going to dismiss them. Binding a freed Inferno Hound with a chain necklace. Your troops are taken by surprise as they become surrounded by the war cries of the Fire Clan. Led by a fire giant, the brutes of the clan encircle your army, blocking any passive retreat. Who thinks they can steal from the giant clan and free beasts? Break chains, they shout, baring their hideous teeth. Now haste folk put in cage, squeak and twitch when Bonane wakes. Haste folk become fodder. The fire giant and its Fire Clan fighters are closing in on your troop. How do you order your army to engage? Uh-oh. Tell the troops to rush at the enemy, exposing their own flank. Quickened movement. But decreased defense. Or tight formation. But slowed movement. I mean, we're skeletons. I feel like tight formation is the way to go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How can a giant surprise anybody? I mean, that's a great question. I really did not expect to be attacked again here. Man, these are really good Inferno Hounds too, though. Who is actually a problem in this army? Obviously the Fire Giant. They're not that much ahead of me on points. And I have a Necro. All right. Let's go. Here. No. Here. And there. Those archers ain't gonna do much. Cast Regen on those warriors. He's gonna form a Firestone. I did not notice that was a tier 3 elemental. I thought they were all tier 2s, tier 1s. That sucks. I'm now completely on fire. I don't have the mana to be casting spells. I don't know what I think I'm doing here. I might just flee from this. I really don't have a good setup here. He's weak to lightning and he's wet. Man, all these butcher ogres. I mean, these guys are just going to come in and shoot me, so... I might as well charge on this flank. This guy's immobilized. Berserk! If I didn't move him in, that Berserk might have actually been in my favor. Damn, man, they melted that bone golem. I gotta get out of here. This guy's got no chance. We'll hold the lines and we'll try to survive as best as we can, but for sure this is Big L. I had no idea they were going to fight me with a surprise second army here, so. There ain't much I can do about that. Bring you back to dead. Buy me a little extra time. Necrotize him. We get hit with some zippy zaps. Oof, big charge hit. There's part of me that keeps wanting to, like, maybe I can make this, but fire against all these undead units, this was just, I don't know what I was thinking sending this guy down here in the first place, to be honest. It is a bad matchup. You ain't doing much. You ain't gonna be doing much of nothing. I guess let's buff you. Worst part about this is knowing, like, I could kill that guy with a necrotize right now, but I'm also, like, It's not going to be enough to kill the rest of this stuff. This giant alone, I can't kill with any of these guys, and he can one-shot everybody. No, yeah, we made the right choice trying to run the hero out. See ya. Oh, and he escaped. We did get a creature cage open because of that, at least. Now, we lost the creatures, so I definitely don't want to do that again unless we can actually succeed. Some monks are hanging out at this blossom. I could lose a bunch of knowledge, but gain a bit of population. 6 turns of knowledge, but 4 turns of pop. Well, 16 knowledge per turn, so like, what is that? 60. It's basically 1 turn of knowledge for 4 turns of pop. 1 full turn of knowledge. I want the XP is the problem. More than anything else. Losing that army also fixed my mana problem. Which is, at least that's kind of nice. You get a berserker. Where's he gonna go? Probably in here, replace this warrior. So you can go back to Ashenheim. We got a level up on Nanlock. Which I guess we're going to pick up Devouring Spell with. These 2 broke their defensive pact. That's nice. Rivalry there. We've gone back down to neutral for killing those guys. We'll get to siege these dweebs in a moment. Can I get out of any of these wars? No. I mean, whatever. I don't really care about being in war that much. Let's recruit some shades now as well with our berserkers. Our cool little demon ninjas. Can I summon stuff? Yes. I can summon magma elementals is basically it. These guys. I can also make, I keep forgetting about this, but I can make crystal units over here. Litharine units. But they cost a lot of mana. So while we might have some down the road, we're not having them right now. Did I already try the buffed Chosen Destroyers? It's very strong now. I haven't actually, no. I didn't realize Chosen Destroyers got another buff. They were very strong beforehand, so. Are the DLCs worth it to get? Generally, yeah. They're good DLCs. Game is as good as it is. Recommend trying it out without buying DLCs later or use the subscription. Get them, not get overwhelmed. Yeah. Ooh, a training ogre. I love the training ogre. All right, you guys could make a warlord's pavilion. It would cost like all my money though. I think I'm gonna build a monolith. Let's wipe this city out. Ooh. If I'm gonna raise a city, I don't have that, but I do have this. We'll get population for this now, and we'll get gold. Oh, cool. Also, because we can make gem units, we have a chance of getting them every time we win a fight. they have really bad mana upkeep. I just want those two. Let them heal. You guys are recovering. Oh, I don't own this province I'm in. I do own that one. Units regenerate extra in friendly domain. Would be nice. Our ruler has leveled up. He can take Undying Warrior. Whenever he dies in combat, he comes back to life. Very good for a giant necromancer. Those guys are at war. I mean, basically everybody's at war all the time now. Everything else looks good. Fargosk is burning. I'm destroying a dragon's lair. I can start clearing out just the remaining armies nearby. He's fighting giant. Nah, he might actually be fighting Belsarius down here. I'm not sure. I thought they were allied though. I don't know where all these free cities are suddenly showing from. Allied peace war. Yeah, he's not at war with Belsarius. So a bunch of guys are going to come up to Sunheim. This means that he's killing all these fire giants, which is what I want to be doing. So let's get through these Dragon Lair real fast, so we can get to the meat. You got a mineral extractor down here. You're going to get basalt excavation. I have vassalized Kilbal. That's fantastic. I could buy production. You know what? I think I'll do that. I could try to vassalize Berlantium here as well. They're actually not really far ahead on me on it. It's going to take a long time, but I think that's worth trying. We'll give it a shot. Have I tried all three types of the Legends of Meridia yet? I've only done one of the event chains. So this one is all like brand new to me. I think we did the one that was like you got like soul something artifacts. They were pretty cool. Who's this? Aegis made their way across the mountains. Who's this? Axeward. The hell is Axeward? These guys? Wow. Rude as hell. Okay. Guess I'm fighting this one. I should get a dragon from this fight as well. We got a blessed dragon the last time we cleared out one of these. I'm hoping we can get something nicer than that. So the obvious threat here is the fire dragon. That chaos eater is also a pretty big problem. Fire wyvern's not great, but I'm gonna bait with zombies. I think I'll add myself into the zombie pile here as well. You guys all have fire resistance. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm actually going to go for the gremlin because he displaces, and he's going to make me turn right round, baby, right round, and I'm not going to like that. Skelly polearms, warriors, necro. I have 2 chargers here. That's the only guy you can buff, so we might as well buff him. Give him a heal. Move him here. Move here. Give him a heal. Give all of you a heal. You're a wizard. Summon a spider. Those skeletons there. I'm going to move. Oh, that's actually blocking that bone horror. Okay. Hasten the bone horror on the outside. Zerker, Entwine Protector, Sunderer. Thunder. All right, we'll see how that works. Soul Cursed, yeah. That's the most boring out of all the 3. Yeah, I didn't really care for it very much. Yeah, see, my lord's been gremlined here, so he's facing backwards. Oh, amazing! The zombie baited the entire fire breath just to himself. Wow, that worked really well. I'm very pleased about that. I couldn't be much more pleased. That's a good hit on those 2. I could hit the 2 of them as well, but I feel like getting the gremlins displaced. I feel like one-shotting the gremlins is a good idea. You can move there. You can move there. You can move here. So let's charge him. Charge him again. You've got a web, which will kill him. Freezes those gremlins. These berserkers actually can't get into position. But we'll get them in best they can. Soulbound will buff you. Leave the Necros in case we need to revive anybody. So you've got a charge. You've got a charge. You also have a charge, but probably I don't want the Berserker taking out the Dragon 1v1. So let's hit him. This guy's also like quite wounded. And that Chaos Eater in the back, I'm just realizing I have left completely wide open. Yeah. Yeah, I sure have. You do delicious frost damage. Stun him. All right, sunder you. And you're stunned. Let's sunder you. Should have done those sunders earlier. Can I necrotize you? Ooh, I can. So that puts a little heat on this guy now. He's threatened. Nice. He just goes for the zombie. You're hitting temp HP. Most of the other guys are frozen. All right, we got a couple berserks here. I would argue most of which are what I was going to do anyway. You've got a tasty flank. You've already gone. You've already gone. You've already gone. You need to get out of range. Not going to do a lot of damage there, though. Keep sundering him. You have a heal. Let's think some stuff. Displace. Hit him. Kill him with the spider. Our spider disappears next turn. Necromancer goes in and finishes that job and summons some zombies. Love it. You've got him moving like all the way here to get a death blast on him. Put you here. Also take that flank shot. I'm breaking morale pretty well on this guy, which is also one of the things I'm thinking about. Let's have you berserk charge him. Give you the flank shot. Stunned. Okay. You could go here and heal. You know what? That's actually not a terrible choice. Guarantees those guys stay alive. All right, we'll go for the crit. We do get it. Not quite enough to break him. So we'll see what they do. He goes after my Sunderer. Okay. And you go after a Skeleton Spearman. No problem. Easy. Big donk. Big donk. Big donks. Mac, hello. Cold here. I blame Canada. Yeah, it's been snowing up here the last 2 days, which is very weird. We had heavy snow here yesterday. Yeah. And it's still like snow on the ground today, so. You know, good day, good day. We got room for more bone daddies. I'm gonna take them. I'll take 2 of them. A tier 5 fire dragon. Yes. Very good. Thank you very much. All the rest of this we're probably going to be able to just get rid of. That's delicious. That's going in my main army. Faux show. Big strength here. Really, I should get rid of this Entwined Protector. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 shades in here, and that's going to be... I'm going to replace him, and I'm going to replace him, and then this is going to be a meaty army. This will actually like last me to the end game. You got 2 bone horrors as well. I guess you can just sit on them right now. Incredible dudes. Great round. These magma spirits are both about to evolve as well if I win one more fight. Focus crystals. And Fireforged Stone we've recently got. If I can get Arcanium ore, we'd get Rings of Binding. Would be a huge help. We might not be so different after all, he says. What do you have here? Padded Mask, Tier 3. Robe of Hexing. It's not bad. Shoes of Swiftness. Yeah. You're ready to annex more stuff. There are sheep up here, which would be nice. I was thinking about doing forestry. So you'd still be a good forester. Nice. These guys aren't getting along anymore. They're now fighting against each other. Meantime, I'm being pillaged by a ton of vassals that we're going to have to do something about. You know what? I could probably move you guys all the way here. I could certainly put you in force march, but I wouldn't mind you healing for a turn. Let you heal one more. That's fine. That's fine. This city can take the Ancestral Seer Hall. Oh my god, we're even mana positive right now. How good is that? Fargosk is burning to the ground. All the dragons are dead. We got to deal with these pachyderms. There's a House of Hunger under here, which I actually didn't even realize. I gotta be careful because they could sneak up through this location as well. Lots of little caves. But this will lock down this bit of territory. We deal with a couple of these guys. We might actually be able to go on the assault. Chaotic Rebuke. Attackers within 3 hexes have a 60% chance of gaining a random status effect when attacking this target. Heavy Quake. Enemy units within 2 hex radius sustain damage and enter defensive mode. Intensive Training. This hero automatically gets 1 skill point. I don't have a lot of money coming in right now, so I got to be a bit careful on what I buy. He says, immediately spending his money. Start of this turn, this unit dispels 1 negative status effect. I want to get Killing Momentum on him because it's going to be really strong. I'll give you that helmet. Universal Camouflage. I guess let's give that to you. And yeah, we'll take down that quest as well. What trait gives you tier 5 dragons when you clear an infestation? It's the basic chaos trait. Defeating an infestation grants you a unit based on the infestation defeated. Literally the first one. So we beat one of these before, and we got a blessed dragon from it, which was great because this guy has like an insane amount of healing spells. He's very good tier 2 unit. And then I just got lucky and I got the fire dragon for this one. War God Spirit, Fire Aura, high maintenance. He is really expensive, 90 gold upkeep. But, you know, a fire giant with a fire dragon? I'm gonna like pretend he's enchained as well, probably. Wish adult dragons were a tad stronger. They're a bit lackluster for their cost and time it takes. Only really good against mass tier 1s. Tank Spearman, regardless of tier, yeah. Can't take Spearman, yeah. Your lord has really low renown. Yeah, that's true. But that's gonna change. Win combat against an army with 500 more power. Start combat with haste. Yeah, that would be useful. City structures cost less to build. Quarries get binding fragments. Oh, I didn't realize that. City structures get 2 gold. Drafting of fire giants as well. It'll all be really useful. Those binding fragments would be great. craft the good stuff. But I think we're on like a pretty good little warpath plan here. Why don't we end the episode? This seems like a good break. We beat the dragons. Let's cut the first YouTube episode here. And everybody on that can come back tomorrow.